Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. This is the Between Your Lines podcast, as you can see here. My name's Adnan, I am your host. And this channel is going to be mainly music talk, general knowledge, interviews with people who deserve interviews, people that deserve a bit of shine, positivity, substance, football, and probably a lot of Man Utd talk. I don't want to take up too much of your time any longer, so I'm going to dive straight into the subject. This video today is Manchester United Reality Check. I want to start off by saying how, obviously, as United fans, we've been spoiled over the years, especially people of my generation, maybe a bit older than me, slightly younger than me. We've been spoiled by Fergie. Let's take it back to the recent game against Brentford, which is the last game we've just played. United winning 3-1. It was a bit nervy. First half was a bit drab, a bit dry, no creativity, lack of inspiration. Second half, we managed to be a bit more clinical, had a couple more shots on target. I'm sure you've seen the Brentford manager's post-match conference where he said we were lucky and had to change tactics to beat them, which I thought was a bit outrageous. Sorry, we changed tactics. Don't know what he's expecting us to do. Just play the same formation every week and draw or lose. Yeah, anyway. Brentford game, bit shaky. Managed to get a couple goals, 2 goals up. Maguire comes on, score another one, concede another one. Look a bit shaky at the back. Just glad to get the result compared to the Aston Villa game where we drew 2-0 after being 2-0 up, which genuinely felt like a loss. My point is, as United fans, have we been too spoiled over the years? Are we no longer not a big club, and do we have to accept that? Teams like Aston Villa, no disrespect to Aston Villa, but I think they haven't beat us in 18 games, bar Dean Smith's last game at Old Trafford where they beat us 2-1. Our record over the years has been phenomenal against Villa. But teams like Villa, no disrespect to Villa, who are obviously a good team now, are coming to Old Trafford and beating us and playing us off the park on a regular basis. At times, even Brentford were playing us off the park at different times. It's just not good enough. And I think, although we have high standards of the team, it might have come to a point where we have to understand that we are not as great as we once was. Our record in the top 4 since Sir Alex Ferguson has retired has been atrocious. I believe we've only been in the top 4 about 5 times out of the last 12 seasons. I'm not going to lie, I need to double check on that fact. Ollie obviously had some progress. Dare I say it, do we need to bring Ollie back? I'm not going to say it. For those that know me, know I was a backer of Ollie. Obviously, I'm not going to say that he should have stayed on, because when he left, his time had obviously been done. He'd reached his peak, it was clear. But it's clear that Ollie was taking us in a direction where we really needed to be headed. It was closer to challenging for a title. Obviously, this season he failed and in the end couldn't take us to where he wanted us to go. But I have to commend him for the job he done. It was better than anyone else could have even imagined for Ollie to do. Back to being spoiled. I witnessed Sir Alex Ferguson's last 16 years at Man United, I believe. And seeing constant success has overcome our thinking and made us believe that we're still a great team. Unfortunately, we're so clear, so behind of our most hated rivals, Liverpool and Manchester City. I don't even think we can looking to win a title within the next 10 years. I don't see any future potential that suggests that we're going to be anywhere near the title, especially while Klopp and Pep are in reigns at those 2 big teams. I can't see us matching them. And unfortunately, if he leaves after a 6-month temporary management, who else is really out there to challenge against Klopp and Pep? If anything, Tuchel might be our best option. And that's just if he gets sacked at Chelsea, which obviously they have a history of doing. I want to take it back to why this has happened to us post-Ferguson, but even maybe just before Ferguson, even 10 years before or 7 years before Ferguson left. The main scapegoats we could say, which obviously a lot of United fans will blame, is the Glazers. It's clear that a lot of United fans believe that because they're taking a lot of finance out of the club, this finance could have been spent within the club. And since 2005, the takeover happened by the Glazers. The Glazers have financed £1.1 billion from Manchester United. That £1.1 billion could have been left in the club, could have been spent on players, could have been spent on infrastructure, could have been spent on developing our academy, could have been spent on the training grounds, and it hasn't been. However, I don't want to put all the blame on the Glazers, you know, because a lot of rival fans will say how the Glazers have spent so much, how can we complain? Which I sort of understand. Because the fact of the matter is, the Glazers have also spent £1.4 billion, obviously, which is money generated by the club anyway, but they've spent £1.4 billion on transfers. That £1.4 billion they could have been putting in their pocket themselves anyway. But they've put that into the club. They've spent it on players. We've overspent on a numerous amount of players. I don't even want to list out names yet. I'll get to that later. But can we really get onto them after they've spent all that money? I understand all the others, the infrastructure, the recruitment, the managers, the long-termism, taking out finance from the club. Can we blame them for their spending on players? I know at certain times that we maybe needed certain players in certain positions. For example, when Mourinho needed a new centre-back and he wasn't giving it, we were stuck with Bailly, we were stuck with Lindelof. Whereas Pep, for example, he can splash 50 million on a Benjamin Mendy. He can splash 50 million on a Mangala, and then he can just buy another one. Pep bought Mangala, or he had Mangala at least. Then he's bought Stones, 50 mil. He's bought Ruben Diaz, 50 mil. He's bought Nathan Aki, another 50 mil. I'm just ballparking figures here, by the way. I can't remember the exact figures. But we haven't been given that opportunity by the Glazers. I understand. One major problem I have with the Glazers, though, is the lack of not player recruitment, but staff recruitment. Who is selling our players? How are we making such a little amount on our players that leave compared to Chelsea, for example? Bad mismanagement has led us to the position where we can't even get rid of our dead wood. I don't want to keep repeating Phil Jones's name. I'm sure he's taken enough criticism as it is from all around England, at least. From our own fans compared to rival fans, he's taken it from everyone. But why is he still at the club? How has he managed to stay here this long? Why is, no disrespect to Jesse, I love Jesse, like he's been at United since he was 8. Why is Jesse Lingard still at the club, rotting on the bench, getting a couple minutes here and there? Who decided to buy Donny van der Beek? Was that Ollie? Was that someone on the board? He doesn't even play. He's getting money on wages. We're spending money on his wages for what? We could have given that to an academy player and brought him through instead. I'd rather put an academy player on the bench. For example, Olanga, going to give his all 100%. I want to talk about Marcus Rashford quickly, a little side note. People are getting onto him saying he doesn't care or doesn't try hard enough. Have you lot gone mad? Have you lot forgotten the guy that came through at 18 years old and scored 2 goals on his debut via Midgetland in the Europa League and then scored 2 goals on his Premier League debut against Arsenal? You're telling me that this guy doesn't care? Yes, fair enough, I understand he's not playing the greatest at the moment. He's very off form, I completely see that. But to turn our back on him, after the last 2 seasons he's had, by the way, 2 20-goal plus seasons in all competitions, and we're turning our back on him now, where is the loyalty gone? Fans are supposed to be the most loyal subject in football. Throughout everything, managers go, players go to rivals, managers go to rivals. Mourinho went to Chelsea, Tottenham, United. Sol Campbell went to Arsenal, Tottenham. Tevez went to Man City from United after United. Rooney almost went to Man City, one of our greatest club legends. Ronaldo almost went to Man City recently, one of our greatest club legends. He's here with us now. We're the most loyal people at the club. At any club, it's the fans. And the fans have gone mad. They're criticising Marcus Rashford. Like, fair enough, you want to criticise him for his poor performances, but to act like he doesn't care about the club, I'm sure he cares about 99% of fans. The guy was born and brought up in Manchester. He supported United all his life, been in the academy since he was 7 years old. You think he doesn't care about the club? Some of the abuse he gets on social media, for example, was ridiculous. It's a joke. Some of you lot need to grow up, especially you Twitter users. You lot are moving mad. Anyway, back to the mismanagement. I went on a little rant there. Chelsea have made double the amount of player sales from 2010 to 2020 compared to United. Someone at our club is not running the club properly. And obviously it stems down from the Glazers, unfortunately. And that's mismanagement. Recruitment process is all wrong. Decision making is all wrong. And as long as that happens, we cannot be a big club. We are no longer involved as a big club. We have to be taken lightly. Are we just a top 4, top 6 club now? And it pains me to say that. It's an absolute joke that I even have to say that. Moving on now. Remember, this is reality checks. This sounds deep. This sounds harsh already. But moving on. Let's go into management. Post-Ferguson, post-Alex Ferguson, we've had David Moyes. We've had Louis van Gaal. We've had Jose Mourinho. We've had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Might even chuck in Michael Carrick in between. We had Ryan Giggsy till the end of the season after Mourinho as well. Or was that Moyesy? We had Ryan Giggsy after Moyesy to the end of the season. Are these the managers required to take Manchester United back to the top of the Premier League? Which is the main aim, surely. Champions League is a distant dream at the moment. I'm hearing certain United fans saying we can win it this season. I do not think so. We're getting outplayed by Aston Villa, Brighton. Even Newcastle had a good game against us. We drew 1-1 against Newcastle. We beat Norwich 1-0. They had chances. If they had Brandon Williams at left back, they probably would have beat us. Like, it's becoming a joke. And certain fans, United fans, think we're going to win Champions League. I'm sorry, but you need to burst that bubble. Back to the managers. Moisey. Yes, he did an amazing job at Everton. Amazing, a very good job at Everton. Took them to top 4 place on a very limited budget. Was coming close to breaking into the top 4 with a very low budget. Not a low caliber of players, but guys that tried hard, that had decent technique. Guys like Tim Cahill, for example. Scoring from midfield, Moisey had him. Moisey grew him. Moisey made him into a better player. But to bring him into Manchester United on a 7-year contract, which, by the way, only run out, I think, 2-3 years ago, if he was still at the club. A 7-year contract for Moisey after the job he'd done at Everton, it's a disgraceful decision. From then, we've been on a downward slope. You expecting us to compete with the top clubs when we've got Moisey in from Everton? He's never managed a big club. No disrespect to Everton, but he's never been in a top club position, challenger for titles. Sir Alex Ferguson, I believe that was a model they were going after with Moisey. Scottish, longevity, I understand it. Fergie had won things at Aberdeen. Fergie had done miracles at Aberdeen. He broke the battle between Celtic and Rangers for the top of the league and won the league in Scotland. He'd won the European Cup with Aberdeen. This isn't what Moisey's level was. Then Moisey goes, we get Louis van Gaal. who throughout history has got great football pedigree. But his time was over. Why is no other big teams taking these managers that we're taking? Chelsea, they're going for Tuchel, Ancelotti, Mourinho, Scolari. These are managers of a high caliber. We're going after guys like Moyes and then Van Gaal, who's finished off the back of I believe it was Euros. Was it Euros or the World Cup run? I can't remember, but international football is not the same caliber as club football, domestic football. The levels are easier. And also management is different. International management doesn't make you automatically a good club manager. Then we come on to Mourinho. Mourinho was finished. He was finished. By the time he come to us, he was complaining with everyone, having his usual third season meltdown. And then what? We're taking sloppy seconds. We don't need Mourinho. We didn't need Mourinho. And everyone knew he was toxic. Before he coming into the club, everyone knew he was toxic. Why are we taking him? Who's deciding to take Jose Mourinho at Manchester United? It's never the perfect fit. Sir Alex Ferguson would not accept that, I'm sure. People still think that Sir Alex Ferguson has some decision making to do behind the club. I know for a fact he does not. You know why, yeah? If Fergie had power over decisions that were still happening at the club, there's no way he'd ever accept Mourinho. Surely he wouldn't even accept Van Gaal. The style of play isn't Manchester United. It's different. We're not the same club anymore, unfortunately. Then we bring ourselves onto Ollie. I don't want to disrespect Ollie too much. I believe he's a very good trier. He tries his hardest. Love the club more than any other manager that was in the club after Fergie retired. I could see his vision. And did Ronaldo's signing impact his decision? Impact his playing style? Maybe did he even sign Ronaldo? Which once again takes me back to the point I made earlier. Who is making these signings? I'm starting to think it's not even a manager. Have we got a scouting system that's buying these players or offering for these players, suggesting these players? And does the manager have a say in this? But I know I'm saying that. Obviously, if Ronaldo comes in, we have to take him. If Ronaldo's available, I'm sorry, we have to take him, regardless of Ollie's plan or not. This is Ronaldo, the golden boy, ex-Ballon d'Or winner at United, treble winning Ronaldo at United. If Ronaldo comes available, we have to take him. But did that mess up Ollie's plan? We had Martial on the left, Rashford in the middle, Greenwood on the right, maybe Greenwood up top in the middle, maybe Rashford on the right, and it's going to be Martial on the left, or Rashford on the left, and then Sancho on the right, Greenwood up top. I could see Ollie's vision. And I feel sorry for him in a way, because once Ronaldo was available, we had to take him. It was a no-brainer. You can't let him go to Man City. And also, I want to question Ronaldo a bit, which is, I know, it feels wrong to even say, but was this guy about to go Man City? Like I said before, where is the loyalty in the game these days? There's no loyalty. The only loyalty comes from the fans. Yeah, this is a reality check, man. Another thing is, I want to talk about, why is our wage structure so messed up at the club? And this goes back to maybe even Fergie days. And I don't want to disrespect the GOAT. He's like my granddad. Or the dad I always had. Why are we paying so much wages? And the first name I think of when I talk about wages has to be Alexis Sanchez. One of the biggest flops at Manchester United in their history, I have to say. I know he had a few good moments. I remember specifically the Newcastle game. I think we were losing 1-0 and Sanchez had an assist and maybe got the winning goal to make it 2-1. Fair play. You tried. But majority of the time you were shit. He was dead. He was not able to perform. He was not good enough. And he was getting what? I think was it 300, 300 bags a week. Was it 250 bags a week at the time? Completely messed up the whole structure of our club. Next thing you know, you got other players coming in who want to be close to Sanchez levels. You got guys like Pogba asking for 500 bags, apparently. Obviously, it might be rumours. I don't know. I don't take many of the rumours into account. But Pogba looks like the type of guy that would want 500 bags. Who the hell is Paul Pogba to ask for 500 bags a week? What have you done for the club? Like, fair enough if France were paying you 500 bags, but United, what have you done? You've got a couple decent performances under your locker. You've got obviously got good ability. I'm not going to deny that. But you don't perform well enough on a regular basis for you to earn 500 bags a week. And what, is that close to Ronaldo levels? I don't know what Ronaldo's getting at United right now. I'm sure it's maybe 500 bags, 600 bags a week at least. But Paul Pogba, are you anywhere near Cristiano Ronaldo? Have you earned anywhere near the amount, or do you deserve to earn anywhere near the amount that Cristiano Ronaldo earns for our club? I'll be honest, I'll be very, very happy if Paul Pogba left. I've not seen him perform enough. I've seen him perform for about 20% of matches, maybe 30% at max perform in a Manchester United shirt. You're not good enough. I'm betting on Paul Pogba. Put me in CM of Manchester United midfield, I'm doing 100 times better than Paul Pogba. I'm not getting in the ball in the middle of the park and dilly-dallying, trying to hold on to the ball for too long just because I think I'm special. I got a slick new haircut for the game. I'm not doing that. I'm getting the ball. I'm doing a nice little through ball in between the lines. In between the lines. It's going straight to my striker and he's burying it first time because I've laid it on a plate. Paul Pogba does not do that enough. He's not even challenging enough. He's not trying hard enough on the pitch. Who's giving out the wages in this club? The wage structure is an absolute joke. As far as I'm concerned, the only person that deserves over 100 bags right now, or 150 bags at Manchester United, David De Gea, who stayed more loyal than most players have at any club. He could have been at Madrid right now doing the four-peat with the Champions Leagues. He's still at United. He deserves money. Varane, because of his pedigree and history, he deserves money. And he's been a bit shaky, if I'm honest. And I hear a lot of United fans saying that he's playing well and he's very solid and he's different class. Bro, I'm not seeing it. Who's gassed up these United fans just because of big names come to our club? Until I see him perform for our club, I'm not gassing him up. I'm sorry. Varane has not done enough for me. Yes, he's been decent. I'm not going to deny that. He's been solid. He's been all right. But in some games, he looks shaky. Some games, he looks very, very shaky. I'm seeing him getting barged off the ball easily. I'm seeing him trying to clear the ball, looking off-balanced. I'm seeing him trying to pass the ball out and it's gone off the pitch for a throw-in. I'm not convinced about Varane yet, to be honest. Anyway, back to the player wages. Ronaldo, obviously. De Gea, obviously. Varane. Other than that, does anyone deserve over 100, 150 bags a week at United? I don't think so. Someone really needs to sort out the wage structure as a club. Another thing I want to talk about, and this is another reality check for United, where we've fallen behind, at least post-Fergie. The modern game these days has changed heavily. There's no longer a 4-4-2 rigid style of football. It's more fluid and it's more wide orientated. And yes, back in the day, I understand it was wide orientated. Fergie loved Becks and Giggs on the wing, for example. These days, it's about fullbacks. It's not about the modern day winger anymore as such. Even City, for example, Mahrez is cutting in, but he's got the fullback on the overlap bombing on. It's not necessarily as much about Mahrez as it is about Cancelo, for example. Or Walker. Walker overlaps. Cancelo comes into the middle a bit and tries to dictate play from the middle. But the wingers, they're really cutting inside. Another big example, and I'm looking at our two biggest rivals and our two biggest examples, unfortunately. But Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson have been killing it. Killing it, and it kills me to say that. I want to call them shit. I want to speak on the mic and look in the camera and say they're shit, but I can't. They are killing it. And we are so far behind. I don't remember the last time we had a very, very outstanding left back or right back. I'm going to be honest, I rated Antonio Valencia. He tried his hardest, gave his all for the club at all times, was pushed into a right back role by Van Gaal, utilised by Mourinho. He was probably all right at the time, for defensively minded managers, possession-based managers like Van Gaal, defensively like Mourinho. Obviously wasn't enough. But other than that, who's been our best fullback in the last 10 years? Post Gary Nev, post Evra? I can't think of anyone. And Luke Shaw, yeah, he's hit decent heights last year. I'm not going to lie. I was actually quite impressed with how he played last year. But this season, unfortunately, he's fallen off. I'm still willing to give Luke another chance. I'm surprised Tellers is taking his place the way he has. Obviously, Luke's been poor. But I reckon Luke's probably got a higher ceiling than Tellers. As much as I like Tellers' determination and the amount he tries hard. And to be honest, Dalot's kind of shocked me. He's played a lot better than I thought he would. I thought he was finished. Wan-Bissaka's disappointed me a lot. I've admired his defensive ability since he signed for the club for 50 mil from Palace. I've been one of his biggest backers for defensiveness. But his attacking play is atrocious. Gets on the ball, looks all leggy, looks all Langley. His legs are all over the place. Doesn't have no balance. Tries to put in a cross, falls over. Puts in a cross, over hits it. Puts in a cross, under hits it. I can't believe how far behind we are in terms of fullbacks and dominating a game with our fullbacks. All the big teams are doing it. Even the smaller teams are doing it. No disrespect to Brighton, but that Lamptey geezer looks unbelievable. Whenever I've seen him play, he looks ridiculously good. He looks miles ahead of Aaron Wan-Bissaka at the moment. And in a top 4, top 6 team, which we are right now, we probably need to be focused on attack with attacking fullbacks rather than defensive. We should be on the forefront rather than on the defensive, getting attacked by other teams who are lesser than us or should be lesser than us. Unfortunately, our fullbacks ain't good enough. Player recruitment hasn't been good enough. Wages are a joke. Transfer fees are a joke. Maguire for 80 mil says it all. I don't want to go too much in on Maguire because it's depressing even thinking about it. But who the hell is spending 80 mil on Harry Maguire? How is that happening? How has that happened? Yes, I understand English tax. He's come from Leicester. Come on the back of a good performance for Leicester. I think he had a decent Euros maybe as well, World Cup or performance with Leicester, with England, sorry. And he was signing for 80 mil, hoping he's going to become like Van Dijk. Who's dreaming at this club? Who's signing these players? I'm sorry, is Ollie spending 80 mil on Harry Maguire? I don't think he was. I think someone else set him up there. Someone else has bought him Harry Maguire. He's been forced to play him almost every game. And yeah, Maguire's had some decent games sometimes, I'm not going to lie. But he's not the level that Manchester United should have. Varane, of course, he's the level we should have. And obviously, I don't think he's been performing as well as he could do yet. Probably hasn't settled in yet. I'm not sure. Hasn't got used to the English game yet. I believe he will eventually. I hope so. It's Raphael Champions League Varane. But Harry Maguire, I'm sorry. Lindelof, we've made some atrocious signings. I'm not even going to get started on the midfield. I know what everyone thinks about the midfield already. Fred and McTominay. For me, they try hard. I'm not going to fault someone because they're shit, but they try hard. You can't blame them for that. They're not picking themselves. They're getting picked by every manager that's come to the club and has seen them. They're both getting picked. Scott McTominay got Mourinho's Player of the Year after 12 games in that season. Says it all. The rest of the characters in the dressing room clearly ain't up to standard. If Scott McTominay is getting Player of the Season after 12 games for Jose Mourinho, who's very well respected in the footballing world, obviously for what he's done, and people probably take his opinions as very credible, but Scott McTominay got Player of the Season after 12 games. Have we become a joke? Are we try hard FC? Are we top 6 FC? What is going on? I think we need to take a step back. And it pains me to say this. I think we need to follow what Jurgen Klopp did at Liverpool. When Klopp first came to Liverpool, they had a rubbish team, and formation-wise, he changed it from, I think it was a 4-2-3-1 at the time they were playing, or I think they might have been playing I think it was a 4-2-3-1 maybe. Klopp changed it to 4-3-3. Had Suarez. Did you have Suarez? I think he had Suarez. Didn't he have Sturridge playing up top as well at one point? Anyway, Klopp changed it for 4-3-3. He went for counter-attacking football. In their first 2 seasons under Klopp, they conceded 92 Premier League goals. A ridiculously high amount. And if you take into account where they are now, you would never have imagined they conceded 92 goals in 2 seasons under Jurgen Klopp. But he changed it around. He signed Matip. He signed Alisson. He signed Van Dijk. He signed Robertson. He signed good players, or players he thought that were capable of fitting into his system better than the players they already had. They focused on counter-attack for the first 2 seasons, 3 seasons. They then signed better defence. They signed a better goalkeeper. Got rid of... Who's that flop? Was it Karius? Whatever. Mate, I'm laughing, but they're doing better than us right now. I can't even laugh. He then signed Salah, signed Mane, changed his attacking lineup, signed Fabinho. He signed crucial players suited to the system that he wanted to play, this Jurgen press, Gegen press, or whatever it is, to take Liverpool to the next level. And look where they've come. Look how far they've come. And yeah, they might not be winning the league every year because Man City and Pep are a different level, and you'd expect them to be with that level of funding every season, replacing any players that don't do well rather than trying to improve them. And obviously I'm not denying Pep does improve players. I'm not denying that. But he's also capable of replacing them very quickly when he needs to. So you'd expect them to win the league every year at the moment. You'd expect them to. But Klopp has changed the dynamics of the club. His man management, you can see he would die for his players. You see his players would die for him. You see the passion when he's coming up and hugging his players after a game. You see the passion when he's roaring for the crowd after the game. Where is that at United? Who's doing that for United? Even Ollie, no disrespect to Ollie. Ollie, after the game, probably a little clap to the fans. Little, yeah. Klopp's doing all this. Klopp's going mad on the pitch. Klopp's going absolutely mad on the pitch. Klopp's going up to all the fans, any away fans. Klopp's celebrating 3-3s with West Brom. I think we need that. Where's the passion at the club? We haven't got it. Anyway, I want to take it to the current day and what we can do now to fix it. I think the next few months, Ralph's got a very tough job. And personally, look, I know a lot about football. I've been playing Football Manager for years. I've played Football Manager for years. Look, I know a lot about football. I play football. I'm one of the best players ever, of my generation at least. What do Manchester United need to do to fix this situation? I'm not going to lie, Ralph's got a very tough job the next 5 months of the season left. I think there's 19 games left of the league. We've got West Ham tomorrow. I've recorded this pre-West Ham game. The best thing we can do now, I believe, is stick to the 4-3-3 that we played against Aston Villa. Sorry, stick to the 4-3-3 that we played against Brentford. It's got to be Fred and McTominay midfield with Bruno. I'm sorry, Van der Beek's not getting in there. From what I've seen whenever he plays, it's not been enough. Yes, I know he hasn't had enough opportunity by neither manager, Ralph or Ollie. But even then, when he has played, he hasn't performed. You got to take your chance. Look at Elanga. Man's played like 3-4 games. He's been miles ahead of any performance that Donny's put in. Miles ahead. And you know what it is? All it is trying hard. He's running about for the ball. He's holding on to the ball. He's not giving it away. This is another reason why I love Mason Greenwood. Yes, I know he hasn't been on the greatest form. By the way, that coincides with Ronaldo coming in. Because before Ronnie come in, he'd scored, was it 4 and 4? I think Greenwood had scored at the beginning of the season. But the guy keeps the ball. The guy holds onto the ball. I don't know what his stats are for ball retention, but he holds onto the ball a lot more than most of our players. Compared to, say, for example, compared to Rashford gives the ball away a lot. Or Greenwood, he'll get the ball. He might not go down the wing like we might want him to on the right wing, but he's not a right winger. He cuts inside, or he'll go back and find a man. He'll find a United player. And that's the basics that we need at least. So for this season, I think we need to do the basics right. Find our own players. Don't lose the ball so often. We lose the ball too many times. I think we're 7th or 8th in the league for ball retention. We give the ball away more than 8 other teams. It's not good enough. We can't expect to compete or get top 4 the way we're playing right now and the way we're getting outplayed by maybe 80% of teams in the Premier League. They're playing better than us. Every game. I don't have no confidence. I feel like every game the other team is going to get loads of chances against us and we're going to have less than them. And we just got to pray and hope that we are clinical enough to finish the game off and get a win. I can't see us even getting clean sheets at the moment. It's looking tough at the moment. But it's not all doom and gloom. I believe in the club. I believe in Manchester United. I believe in our pedigree. History can repeat itself. Look at Sir Matt Busby. Look at Sir Alex Ferguson. It's possible. There is another long-term manager out there that can change our fortunes at the club. And I'm hoping once Ralph goes upstairs, starts directing the football club a bit better, I'm hoping we can go back to looking to challenge for the Premier League title. I'm not even saying win anymore, because I don't know when we're going to win it. But we need to challenge. We need to be up there challenging neck and neck with the top team in the Premier League, which looks to be Man City for the near distant future. We are not a club for short-termism. Moyes, I know, had a dream, or there was a plan for long-termism with Moyes. Didn't work. Calm. Move on to the next one. Van Gaal was not long-term. That's a short-term plan, and it flopped. Mourinho, short-term plan, and it flopped. Oli, maybe long-term plan. Did we give him enough time? Maybe, maybe not. It's debatable. He was not doing very well at the end. Looked like the dressing room had given up on him. Not sure why. Slightly blame Ronaldo, to be honest. Not because he's a detriment, but maybe changed his plans. Had to cater to Ronaldo's ego a bit more once he'd come in. Greenwood was getting less game time up front. He was now stuck out on the right. And I think this was about to be a big season for Mason Greenwood. Do you remember last season, at the end of the season, I think he finished on 8 goals in 8 games. This season he's starting 4 in 4. I know, it's sad. I'm relying on Mason Greenwood. The guy's like 19 years old, 20 years old. He could be my little brother. But I'm relying on Mason Greenwood in the future. My point is, we need to look for a manager, and I don't know who that is. I'm tempted to say it might be Tuchel once, and or if he gets sacked after Chelsea get rid of him, which is probably likely eventually because that's what Chelsea do. If Tuchel goes, is he our best shot for long-termism at the club? Fairly youngish age. Maybe Nagelsmann from Bayern. Would he come to United right now? Are we a good prospect? I can imagine Tuchel coming, because if he gets sacked by Chelsea, Man United are a big club historically, and he could be the one to put in a bit of time at United, given a bit of time, given the right recruitment to take us back to the top where we need to be. And it's clear to see he is a tactician. Unfortunately, he's got a bit of a Chelsea squad who give up on managers easily. Chelsea squad that I do not rate, by the way. I do not rate. I've been saying it for the last 18 months. Yes, I know they won Champions League. I do not know how they won Champions League. Just tactical masterclass defensively. Defensively, they were solid. City didn't turn up on their name. Tuchel's taken Chelsea to every cup final that he could be in. That's what we need. And yeah, he might not have won every cup final. I think he lost the FA Cup final, lost the League Cup final to Arsenal. Lost the FA Cup final to Arsenal. Leicester even, sorry. Did he lose the Community Shield to Arsenal? But he's currently in but he's currently in the League Cup final with Chelsea. I believe it's going to be against Liverpool after he knocked out Arsenal the other day. He's getting into finals. I'm kind of hoping he gets sacked. And I don't even know who else we could possibly take after Tuchel. Who is big enough to take Manchester United to where they belong, where we belong? Anyway, enough of the negativity. I told you at the beginning of the video this is going to be positive. I tried. I lost my way. Stay tuned for the channel. There's going to be loads of match reviews coming up, loads of interviews, loads of football debates, loads of opinions, loads of good opinions, loads of substance, loads of chat with me, Adnan, your host, Between the Lines host. Stay tuned in, subscribe, like, comment, live videos soon coming, live stream videos, so you can chat, get involved. See you soon, see you in the next video. Next video is going to be a good one. Little hint, it's going to be Spurs v Manchester United combined 11. Subscribe. Bang, bang.
Between the lines.